take some of the books that were psychographed by Chico Xavier and dictated by Emmanuel. And we created this weekly study. And the importance of this type of study is because Emmanuel gets a little paragraph from the New Testament, and he works through it and builds a unique chapter of teachings to help us better understand what's the real message that Jesus had in mind to send us. So maybe 5, 7 words to really keep us close to the core, the intention, the purpose that Jesus had in his mind. So today we're going to be studying chapter 45. And I'm going to read it for you. I'm going to speak for 20 minutes or less. And then we're going to finish with the virtual Passe. That will take about 3 more minutes. So chapter 45, only in this way. And the little text, the verse that is taken from the New Testament is the one that you guys see in this slide. In this is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. Thus, you will be my disciples. And this is in John chapter 15, verse 8. In our times of affliction, the Father is invoked. In times of joy, he is worshipped. On stormy nights, he is anxiously longed for. On festive days, he is solemnly revered. Praised by the thankful children and forgotten by ingrates, the Father always gives, spreading the blessings of his infinite goodness among the good and the bad, the just and the unjust. He teaches the worm to crawl, the bush to grow, and the human being to think. Nonetheless, no one should have any doubts about what the Supreme Lord expects from us. From one lifetime to the next, he helps us to grow and to serve him so that someday we may become part of his divine love and glorify him. However, we will never arrive at such condition simply by means of 1,000 bright hues of sentiments and reasoning. Our higher ideals are indispensable, and at heart they resemble the most beautiful and fragrant flowers of a tree. Our learning is essential, of course, and in essence, it compromises the robustness of the respectable trunk. Our lofty aspirations are precious and necessary, and they represent the living and promising leaves. All these requirements are imperative for the harvest. The same happens in the fields of the soul. Only when we open ourselves to the Father's decrees of universal love, working for the eternal good, we can glorify him. To that end, the Master was clear in his statement. May our activity on life's journey produce much fruit of peace and wisdom, love and hope, faith and joy, justice and mercy, in a constant and worthy personal endeavor, for that is the only way we can glorify the Father and the only condition in which we can be disciples of the crucified and resurrected Master. So this chapter is a calling for us, mostly because many of us talk to God in a weekly basis, maybe in a daily basis. We remember God, we remember Jesus or saints or angels, every day. We go to churches, we make our prayers in the morning or before we go to sleep. But Emmanuel is calling our attention, saying that The Father is always, always giving blessings to everyone. But there's something that He's expecting from us, which is interesting. Because we know that God has this infinite love, this powerful, unconditional love that mends all our defects, that help us, that lifts us up when we are in pain, that He's always listening. And when we think about unconditional, we think, well, so what He's really expecting. The other thing that calls my attention on this text is that this unconditional love kind of shows us that no matter where we are, how we live, our choices, good or bad, our ages, religions, cultures, every time I talk to Him, either for praising, for honoring, for thanking, for asking, it doesn't matter. He will be there for me because He's saying He is spreading blessings all the time. It's like if it's a shining light, a beam of light, that we just need to look for it, to receive that light within us. But as we know that He's always giving, and that we talk to them and to Him, and many of us will talk to God in different ways. Some of us will be just remembering God when we are happy. Some of us need to feel the pain, the loss, the solitude, to remember that there is a stronger force above us, controlling everything that happens with us. So if I have my free will, my ability to make choices and to study or work, there is always this invisible hand that can make things happen or not. I may try very hard to get something, to become something, and that may never happen. For other people, it may be super easy. Why? Because we do not control everything. So everything that happens in our lives, it takes a lot of strength and will and action, but there's also the hand of God. When we worship God, and this is very important, why? Because the more we talk to God, the better we understand His words. He's always listening to us, but are we listening to God? In the moment of despair, which is when usually we become deaf, we tend to only want to hear what we want or what we believe is the best for us. And it's very hard for us, His kids, to truly let go, lean in, and believe that going through such a loss or pain or painful experience is the best thing that can happen to us. But the more we talk to God, we practice this conversation, we get closer. We understand His voice. Many of us are able to listen to His suggestions, to His inspiration, through His angels that we know that surround us on the moments that we are going through difficult times. If we only leave to talk to God on the moment that we are suffering, we may not understand His words when He tells us or suggests us what to do when we are in despair. He's always listening. And when I thought about that, it's with technology that we have today. It's kind of it becomes easier to understand what that, availability in a very relative little way really means. But it's very important to understand that this most powerful Wi-Fi network that exists today, that covers everywhere, that doesn't have any shadow areas, that is free of charge, there's no interruption of service. There are different ways to jump into it. There's a reason for that. And as any parent, he does have an expectation for us. So it doesn't matter how we are communicating with God. And some of us, when we talk to God, we expect like a prompt answer. So it's like when we are sending a message and then we see like on text or WhatsApp, this information that somebody's typing back to us, like it's answering, and then we keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and the message never pops up. And one person may think, well, what he's doing, why he's not giving me the answer if he's always listening, why he's not doing anything to help. And one thing that we forget is that we need to be ready to listen. So it's not only him kind of spreading his blessing, but it's our capability to absorb those teachings, the lessons that he's giving to us. He knows how we are feeling, and many times he knows how the route that the whole world is going. And then he sends like a big broadcast to the whole planet, like what we are living right now with COVID. That's the big message that many of us are not really understanding what he's saying, probably because we have not practiced it enough talking to God. So we look at a difficult time like this without completely appreciating the opportunity, the learning opportunity that we have been given. What is the teachings that are hidden behind the pain? We look at a painful experience like that, for example, to expand our ego, to make us more visible, more important, more known in the internet, to make more money, to abuse our power, and to control lives of people that really need help. And this is a calling when everybody is suffering, like what is going on right now. Is the calling for us is that, what can you do? And that's his expectation. So when he is coming with such a strong message that in this kind of a cosmic network, it went really viral. It's multi-service, multi-platform, no firewall, 24/7, 365. I mean, he went full speed. And suddenly, if anyone had ever thought about stopping the whole planet for 6-8 weeks, everybody would say, it's impossible, it's not going to happen. Well, he just did it. He just did it with a very little being, a virus that we cannot see with our eyes. And even the strongest alive fear for it. So as we go through this experience of this calling, we need to think about he's giving, he's giving, he's giving. The lesson is being taught to all of us. But why? What do we need to do with this? Do not ask, why me? If he has a reason He keeps spreading his blessings to all of us, as Jesus said, even when we do not deserve. Why he's doing that? If we understand that the moments that we experience, good or bad, are opportunities for us to grow, many times a bad moment, a bad experience is that specific one that help us thrive, grow, change, take a different route in our lives, become a better person, healthier, fitter, smarter, find a job that we love. So kind of a wake up. It's a wake up call. So this is why God does that. He gives good experience. He gives us strong lessons like what we are having right now, because he wants us to bear much fruit. Fruit. What do you mean by fruit? I'm not a tree. What he's saying is that, well, what type of fruit can you give? What do you have to give? What type of talent? How can you spread my word? How can you give hope? How can you help others? And Emmanuel kind of go through three important points that if God is asking for us to give fruits, he's saying that we do that by elevating our ideals, like beautiful flowers. So we need to get out of the matter, this material realm. Just stop thinking about, okay, what's the clothes that I'm buying this week, or how much I might make in my job, or what's the next promotion that I'm fighting for. No. He's saying, okay, tune up. You need to listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking to you. Listen. The second thing that Emmanuel says in this chapter is that we need to continue to learn, because it's through learning that we become stronger. But learning what? Learning like what we are doing here, reading, listening to podcasts, to lives, but to words that can strengthen our hope, that can help us become less selfish, less prideful, become better human beings. That human beings that instead of using the pronoun I, uses the pronoun us, we. He's asking us to have higher aspirations so we can have healthier lives. And these aspirations, we need to change the type of lenses that we are wearing. Why? Because if we look for the next 10, 20, 50 years that I'm living here on Earth, I'll be setting my goals to be the best that I can on what I do for the next decade or so. But eternal life is more than that. So he's saying you need to aspire, become a better being, and a better spiritual being, not a better dentist or a better engineer or a better mathematician. And to that point, even if I am the best mathematician in the whole planet, that's not going to protect me in a moment of pain as the one that we are suffering right now. That is not going to help me keep my mental balance, my mental strength, to help me find peace inside myself. The type of knowledge that will bring that to me, my ability to deal with despair, with my difficulties, with the challenges that I face every day, is when I choose to elevate my ideals, when I continue to learn, and when I have higher aspirations. And then Emmanuel continues, these requirements are imperative for the harvest. So without going back, elevated ideals, continuous learning, higher aspirations, we cannot bear fruit. We will not be listening. Only when we open ourselves to the Father's decrees of universal love, working for the eternal good, we can glorify Him. So the calling that He's giving to us right now is to turn on our Wi-Fi reception, to pop it up and become, go to the settings in our smart device and become a hotspot. That's what He's saying. I'm asking you, instead of just using my Wi-Fi, become a source of energy, a source of support to other people that are not being able to listen to what I'm saying. So you can say my words through your mouth. I can help the other person through your hands. And that's what we are seeing happening right now. So a lot of people opening nonprofits, helping the ones that have lost their jobs or are getting sick or cannot go to the grocery store. This is what He's saying, for us to become little hotspots and help Him to help others. That is how we can bear fruit and help. And as we continue here, we think what He's asking us is to come from a theory and move to the practice, is to walk the talk. So it's not enough for us to, listen to the best lectures and talks and have read all the, most marvelous books on the whole planet if we do not apply that in our everyday life. And even if we bear fruit, we know there are some fruit that are sweet, there's some fruit that are sour. That sometimes we hold the fruit so much that instead of giving away ripe, we spoil that fruit because we hold it instead of giving it. We don't enjoy it, and not other people can enjoy it too. As fruit, bearing fruit, a tree that gives fruit, we can also choose when we want to give. Do we want to give every day? Do we want to give once a year? What's your choice? We have the choice, but as He's giving openly, every day, non-stop, He's asking us to open ourselves, become strong, beautiful, and give to others as they need, whatever we are. It doesn't matter if I am at my house or at work or on the streets, at the supermarket. Do what I can. Become His hands to help others who need more than we do. So that's what I had for you today. We are going to start our virtual Passe. I ask you all at this moment to please close your eyes. Think about your day, why you're here, why you chose to join us on the study. Benevolent spirits, messengers of God, whose mission is to help man and conduct him towards goodness. Uphold me in life's test. Give me the strength to suffer without complaining. Turn away from me all evil thoughts, and do not allow me to give access to any bad spirits who may try to induce me to evil. Clarify my conscience with respect to my defects, and take away the veil of pride from my eyes, which can prevent my seeing them and admitting them to myself. Dear God, allow the good spirits who accompany me to help me when I am in difficulty and uphold me when I falter. Lord, may they inspire me with faith, hope, and charity. May they be a point of support and inspiration and a testimony of your mercy. In short, may I always encounter in them the strength I lack for the tests of life, the strength to resist all evil suggestions, the faith that saves, and the love that consoles. Beloved spirits and guardian angels, who God in his infinite mercy has permitted to assist mankind, be our protectors during all life's tests. Give us the necessary strength, courage, and resignation. Inspire us towards all that is good, and restrain us from the downward incline to evil. May your sweet influences fill our souls. Make us feel that a devoted friend is by our side, who can see our suffering and who participates in all our joys. And you, my God angel, my good angel, never abandon me, because I need all of your protection to be able to support with faith and love the death that God has sent me. Amen.